you probably do way more business OE than you'll ever do on an aftermarket side.
Yes,
He
that's
was
correct.
vaguely explaining it to us exactly how that happens, but I think it's better to hear from Roberto, right, on how that kind of works, because you were explaining to me on the phone call how it works.
Yeah, explain the OE side. It's so
from the
incredibly
OE to aftermarket.
Well, normally, the way Exedy looks at everything is we develop a partnership with an OEM brand, Subaru, Honda, whoever it might be, Nissan, whatever. We make their OE component in their drivetrain, and then what happens is when the car launches, usually 3 to 5 years later, the aftermarket support shows up. We've tried to shorten that timeline, but usually when we shorten the timeline, our products in the aftermarket are not what they're supposed to be. What I mean by that is, let's take the new BRZ, for example. New BRZ just comes out. Everybody wants one. They're buying them. They're wide bodying them. They're doing their thing. Now, if Exedy, which is OE on that car, but let's say we have a stage 1, stage 2, and a twin and a triple already available for that car. When people start upgrading their turbos and stuff, if they do that prematurely or as soon as they get the car, it takes us 2 to 3 years to really see where the power level is that these guys are going to be trying to go for.
Yeah.
So if we come out with something that's not going to hold where ultimately the car is going to be, then we just missed the boat. And Exedy is always moving forward, so they won't go back and redo it.
Right.
You know what I mean? We did that with our Honda B series, for example. We came out with the twin disc really early for the B series, and that was before everybody was drag racing them. When it was really expensive to drag race, and the clutch was a really big deal. Fast forward 20 years, now everybody's drag racing those things, and you almost need like a quadruple clutch at this point to keep up. But that kind of goes into what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people want us to drop aftermarket stage 1, stage 2 twin right when the car comes out, but we don't really understand how much power you guys are really going to get out of the car before it blows up, or what's the sweet spot to make these products. So usually after they're coming off their lease returns and they're into the second owners and things like that, that's usually when you start to see the clutches in the aftermarket come up with that.
Yeah. I think you see that a lot with wheels too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for the most part, there probably is a larger percentage. Well, there is a larger percentage of people that are going to put wheels on a car that's pre-owned or a little older than you will something right off the dealer lot. And I think that's especially true nowadays because the OEs have gotten better with wheel design. I mean, back in the day, you were changing something from a hubcap to you know what I mean? So, but now some of these wheels are not bad looking. So you're really now changing for fitment, not the necessarily aesthetics of the wheel. But
yeah, and they're doing colors now. I mean, you can get black wheels right from the dealer now.
Yeah.
I remember when that was like a real upgrade, but now you can get black wheels and, all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. And they got all these crazy packages, night package, the owl package, you know what I mean? Like,
and
bunch of
Roberto was mentioning to me too before how back in the days, you would go to a wheel shop and they would only do a specific size. And he's like, no, I want 17, 18 inch.
Right.
And they would look at him like he's crazy. He actually explained to me how that came about with his car and getting a bigger size, which is pretty cool.
Well, and that was the thing. Back in the day, there was only really 2 places you can go locally to get wheels. It was either a performance shop or usually a stereo shop. Ironically, like I feel like you'd walk in and there'd always be that rack and you were pigeonholed into both, and nobody could see the magic, right? Like at the end of the day, there was certain wheels that they could get.
Yeah.
Whether it be through a Keystone back in the day, or I'm trying to think who would have been. Really, I mean, Keystone was a major player, but so what ends up happening is they would be like, no, this is the wheel you want to get. This is it. Like, this is what they're knowing in their back of their head is either they got a set in the back, or they have the hookup, but only on this. You know what I mean? But nowadays, the world is your oyster. You know what I mean?